How's it going today, guys? Trucks and Water here, and welcome to another wonderful day here in East Tennessee. Fall is finally starting to come. The temperature's starting to drop, leaves are falling off the trees, whole 9 yards. And what another great day for this wonderful nation. Trump has now been elected. So I know a lot of y'all were excited about that. I'm excited about that because I'm ready for cheap gas, lower taxes, and a bunch of other awesome stuff that's going to come our way. But anyways, today's video is, what does that mean for the truck community, everybody, not just considering Toyotas, but the diesel community, gas community, half tons, 3/4 tons, 1 tons, the whole truck community? What does that mean for us now that Trump's back in office? So in this video, I'm going to be going over what that possibly means for us, what happened in the last presidency, and what we can look forward to in the future. Now, what did Trump do in his first term when it comes to that affects us truck guys? Now, this is where I need to make a asterisk, whatever you want to call it. I like Trump. I voted for Trump. He was definitely the best candidate out of the two to run this country and all this stuff, what we dealt with for 4 years with the previous administration, especially the VP trying to run for president. She hasn't done crap. But anyways, that doesn't mean Trump doesn't have his faults. And that's what I'm going to be going over right now, because during the Trump presidency, the EPA heavily cracked down on the truck community, especially the diesel community. Not necessarily the gas community, but we'll be getting to that here in a little bit, but definitely the diesel community. Now, if you're big in the trucks and you know about the diesel podcast, and a screenshot will be popping up of the episode to watch where the EPA actually put a diesel shop owner in federal prison for deleting and tuning trucks. That is right, federal prison. I'm talking with some of the harshest criminals this country has to offer. They shoved the dude that owned a business just deleting and performance and modifying diesel trucks in with some of the worst criminals you can possibly imagine. That was under the Trump administration. That's what started it. Now, I'm not saying Trump did that himself. I think it was more of either that person and head of the EPA was already in the EPA, or he appointed them, not realizing that they would crack down so hard on the diesel side of it, plus trying to get rid of gasoline engines, diesel engines, trying to go to the all-electric BS that we know doesn't work. The technology is not there right now to work the way they want it to. But that being said, under the Trump administration, the EPA did crack down a lot. And then when we went to the Biden administration, a video will be popping up right now of government vehicles. I'm talking what the government buys. And a Ford 6.7 Power Stroke in a shop that was shipped to the government, being worked on, that had no emissions, no DEF, no EGR, no nothing, tuned from the factory with no emissions on it. And when they were pressed on why do they get it and we can't have that, it was because, and I quote, the emission stuff is not as reliable as a deleted trucks, and that's what we need for our application. So it's rules for thee and not for me.
Factory deleted 6.7 Power Stroke you didn't know about.
Y'all see it yet? Factory delete plates from Ford. This thing has 0 emissions, no DPF.
And this is what a factory deleted 6.7 Power Stroke sounds like. They have absolutely 0 emissions equipment on them and OEM Ford delete kits.
Not only does it not have an EGR, no DPF, nothing.
Unfortunately, you can't just go to the Ford dealer and buy yourself a factory deleted 6.7 Power Stroke. Trust me, we all wish that was the case. The only way you're ever going to be able to drive a factory deleted 6.7 is if you are part of the military. According to this article from Road and Track, Ford specifically produces OEM DPF deleted 6.7 Power Strokes just for the military. In the article, it states that military vehicles run through some of the toughest and most stressful mechanical situations on the planet. And I quote, reliability is more than just a desire. Which means they already know the trucks that we are able to buy, which would be with DPFs and all the emissions equipment, are not that reliable. Hence the reason that they take them off and sell the military factory deleted 6.7 Power Strokes. But yet we can't have them. So funny to me that they will allow all these vehicles to be made and sent off to the military with no emissions equipment on them, but yet they're over here preaching the Clean Air Act and how bad diesels are for the environment and how great the DPF systems are. To me, this just proves the point that the EPA and all this emissions bullshit is such a scam.
I want to say my personal 2 cents. I think Trump didn't realize what was going on, because like when this new administration came in, like I said, they banned They tried to ban fracking. They got rid of the pipeline, which caused gas prices, diesel prices to soar. It was a whole big ordeal. And maybe under this new administration with Trump now, he can realize that. So like I alluded to in the last thing, was there was no emissions on that government vehicle. There's a lot of government vehicles out like that. Heck, the Beast that they roll around in, the limo that the president rolls around in, is a deleted tune CP3 swapped by Corey with PPEI Duramax in that limousine. And Corey has fought, and if you know Corey Willis with PPEI tuning, the head guy of that, you know he's been fighting so many legal battles on our behalf, trying to get tuning back on the market. Do I agree with the black smoke tunes and the billowing smoke tunes and all that stuff? No. But it's been proven by Corey that he can make emissions-free tuning that is cleaner burning. Now remember this, it's been proven in documentation, cleaner burning than anything that rolls off of the Ford, Chevy, or Ram assembly line for the diesel trucks with all the emission stuff on it. So it is worthless. It doesn't work. We have been saying that for years, and it does not work. And the government knows that. That's why their government vehicles don't have this stuff. But again, it's rules for thee and not for me. We as an American people have the right to stand up and tell them to F off. We have the right to say, you are not going to allow us to do this, and we can vote people in, which I hope, since now Trump is back in office, or going to be, that we can go back to some normalcy and some statistic and factual data that proves that this stuff doesn't work, like it's been documented to not feel good. Climate change, that's not even really a real thing. You know, I don't know how else to say it, because like, it's not real. Climate change is a political agenda to make people more wealthy that are into the green movement, like solar, wind, and all that stuff that cannot provide the amount of energy we need as a country whatsoever. But anyways, I'm getting off track. Hopefully, since Trump's now back in office, he can restructure the EPA and actually go after corporations that are dumping, like, I don't know, raw sewage and stuff into rivers, and not people that just want a lifted deleted truck, or a lifted truck, or whatever the case might be, and stop going after us as a community. So for his second term, what we all want, I think as a collective, and I'm going to say this for mostly everybody, what we all want is a sense of normalcy. We want to go back to 2018, 2019, and before, where we can delete our trucks if we want. We know we're voiding the warranty with the dealerships. That's not a problem. We want to lift our trucks. We want to put bigger wheels and tires on. We know this. That's why we do it, because we like doing it. It's a hobby of ours. We want to be left alone. Not only have they gone after the diesel community, there's been talks about going after people that want a lifted truck, like, you know, this Tacoma. It's got a 3.5-inch lift and 33s. They want to go after us because we burn more fuel because we lift it. Now, I don't know about you all, but I don't like being told what I can and can't do. I know the money. I know how much I spend on this stuff, and I like it. I enjoy it. So why do we have to be told what we can and can't do? And they won't go after the huge corporations that are dumping God knows what into our oceans, into our rivers, into our streams, into our air. But the guy rolling down the street with a deleted truck or a lifted truck is the enemy of the state, if that makes sense. I think what we all want to see is just normalcy. We all want to be left alone, be able to do what we want with our vehicles, and not be told what we can and can't do. I think that's a reasonable ask, basically, of what we can and can't. What we want to see from Trump is just like, hey, leave the automotive community alone, let them build their vehicles within reason. And again, I don't agree with the smoke tunes. I don't agree with all that stuff, because it just makes, it's unnecessary. But if you have a high horsepower diesel truck or whatever, it's going to blow a little bit of smoke. That's just the nature of the beast. But don't tell us what we can and cannot do. Like, the Karen down the road will get over it. Like, she's probably miserable. She makes her husband's life probably miserable. They can't have no fun. She stomps and cries and whines and groans because she's never been told a no in her entire life. And that's what we're bowing down to, is the Karens of this country. So I know Trump doesn't bow down to that, and hopefully, again, this is a small fish in a big pond we got to deal with this country to get us back on track. But I know in the truck community, it's a pain point for all of us that we have to go through, that we have to deal with this. So in his second term, I hope we just get left alone and we can go back to normalcy like 2018 and before, 2019 and before. Now, as a collective, to roll out, I think what we all want as a community is just, like I said before, be left alone. And to build trucks the way we want to build them and stuff like that. Guys, if you take anything out of this video, be proactive, sign petitions, get loud. Don't be afraid to post stuff on Instagram because you're afraid of what your family would say or your friends or whatever. Do it tactfully, do it respectfully, of course, but don't be afraid to speak your mind, guys. It's one of those things that if you care enough about it, you will fight for it. And I'm not talking about stomping and screaming and throwing a temper tantrum pretty much. I'm talking taking proactive actions to keep what you love alive, because we're at the point now where if we don't stop this now, we'll never have deleted trucks ever again. And it'll be to the point where the individual owner of the deleted truck, not the shops, the individual owners will go to jail. Fight for what you want, guys. And if you take anything away from this video, that's what I want to say. I hope you all enjoyed this little video. If you like the video, leave a like on the channel. Please subscribe. Join the Trucks and Water family. We're constantly growing, changing, trying new and better things. Other than that, guys, like I said, if you have a difference of opinion, write it down below respectfully, and we can discuss it as adults. And other than that, guys, I hope you all have a great day. And remember, never give up on your dreams.